We're live.
Are we really live? Are we really live, Sam? I don't think we're live.
I
This
know
we're
we're
live.
live.
Hey, everybody, it's 2 o'clock Eastern. That means that it is Ask the Agents. Hello, my name is William Bowles. I am a licensed associate real estate broker with the Corcoran Group in New York City. And I'm back this week. Sam had a solo show last week. So, hello, Samuel Austin Hoffman, licensed real estate person with the Corcoran Group in New York City. How are you?
Good. Did you say sold out show or solo?
I
It
think
was
it was a
probably sold out.
solo. I think it was a solo sold out show. That's certainly what I heard. And I think it was while you were walking down the street. I still haven't gone back and caught it, but apparently you were on, apparently you were on the move in the
I
city,
was.
broadcasting live from the city, going crazy without Wi-Fi, and I'm sure everything was awesome.
Was.
And it's pink. It's
So,
pink. It's
where
pink
were
shirt
you?
day. Are you wearing a pink shirt?
Am I wearing what?
Are you wearing a pink shirt? What color is your shirt?
Pink.
Pink shirt day. Pink shirt day
Yours
on
looks
the
more
show.
like a lavender.
No, mine's pretty pink. It's pretty pink. Anyway, um,
Where were
so
you?
missed you last week. So I was at my annual Tony Robbins like coaching and networking event, which was awesome, fun, and it was great and it was inspiring. And of course, I was out of the office for a week, so I'm completely slammed this week, but that's okay. And then I'm away next week too. So August is
Tough life.
turning out to be August is turning out to be pretty good for me. I'm traveling a lot, which is good,
And,
but there's
and what's funny is you were just in California. Now you're back, and then you're going back to California.
I think I guess I'm bi-coastal this month, right?
Seems like
Yes.
it. I like how
There
you had a
seems like it.
pause there by
I was
coastal.
I was waiting. I don't know what I was waiting for. I was not waiting for anything. I think Gene Volpe just hopped on. Hello, Gene. Thank you, sir, for I think you may be commenting on something. Thank you, sir, for hopping in.
Hi,
Always good to see.
Gene. It's a good thing that the preseason of the NFL doesn't really mean much. I don't know those Eagles.
Gene, I really hope you're listening to the show because he's actually throwing you some shade on live Facebook.
It was fine. They had their win last year. Now it's the Texans' turn. It's all
We'll
good.
see if Gene's actually listening to the audio or if he's just hopping on and commenting because
Good test.
yeah, it is a good test, right? I'm gonna let you guys have your little conversation there, because it looks like he's commenting some more. So, by the way, if you're watching this, and thank you, Jamal Curry. I think Gina's watching us live. Thank you, Jamal Curry, for hopping on. Hello, and you gave us a like, and we always appreciate likes and loves and shares. Sam, do you have anything to report? Because I'm actually not reading the comments. I'm gonna let you read the comments because I get way too distracted
No,
by
I
them.
don't have anything else to report.
You're a much better multitasker than I am. All
I've
right,
been
so
told I can do like five things at once.
you're always doing five things at
You
once.
should
Who are
see
you
me
kidding?
drive. You see me drive.
You're always saying five things.
How you doing,
So,
Glenn?
so to answer your question, last week was great. We talked so much about video content, and again, this was a room full of 5,500 of the best real estate agents in the country and actually around the world, and we just talked a lot about video content. There's a whole strategy which Sam, you and I are going to sit down. He really went through point by point on like how to, you started off live here on Facebook and then you create that into a text file and you create written content from it and then you create that into an audio file and then that is saved as a podcast
Podcast.
and you repurpose it on YouTube and all these crazy things. So
What do
they're not
you
crazy.
mean written content? What's written?
Um,
What is written
So
content?
well, what do you mean? What is written content? We can take the conversations that we're having and the content that we're bringing on these Facebook Live shows and turn them into posts on LinkedIn or posts on blogs or posts on our website. So
So
right, so that. Mhm.
it would be like a quote we said, like "hello."
Well, so right now we're just chit chatting back and forth. Hopefully there's some valuable content, but I'm talking about more when we have, for example, when we have a guest and or if we have some, sometimes we'll come on and we'll kick off a topic to begin with, and we'll say, what are the what are the 3 things or what are the 4 things that you should know before you're listing your home? That turns into, right, that's a conversation that we're having or something that we're sort of presenting that can easily be transcribed and turned into a post. Top 4 things you should do before listing your home. So that's the idea with it. And then, and because I've been talking behind the scenes to Sam a lot about this, I am so into, well, actually, we've talked about it on the show too. I'm so into podcasts. I'm into the audio. It's so efficient. Listening to content via being some sort of podcast or however you digest your audio content. It's just efficient. You can do 2 things at once, and much more efficient than sitting and watching, this show, for example. Are you in a full on NFL war in the comment section with Gene or no?
No. We're good. We're past that.
We moved
He
on.
recognizes that the Texans are #1 this year. It's all good.
All right, good. So that was one of the things that I thought was interesting, talking a lot about that. It has certainly made me more focused on, I think, where we're going to take, you and I are going to take this segment and this show over the next year or so, Sam, and you and I have talked about that a lot. So fun things to come for everyone that are our loyal viewers. We want to keep this little Ask the Agents time, this little 30 minutes that we have with you guys every week. We want to help it evolve and grow into cool things. And
we're going to change the formula and always changing to evolve.
Yes, always changing, always growing. So that was one thing. What else did we talk about? It was a lot about the conversation that you've been hearing, I think, from the coaching organization and from people in general about it's the Amazon economy. Everyone wants everything instantly, and they want it with amazing customer service. And it's our job to remove as many obstacles as we can from the home buying or the home selling process. So a lot of content and talk around that. There's this woman, Tiffany Bova, who spoke. There's a book coming out. Don't remember the name of the book, but you can Google her, Tiffany, Bova, B-O-V-A. She is one of the big sales muckety-mucks at Salesforce, which is obviously a huge CRM company. And she had a lot of things about how, to take care of your customers and be efficient, with running your business. And so some good speakers on that. There was a speaker named Jay Abraham, who Tom Ferry was very excited to have presenting. Jay Abraham is someone who has coached Tony Robbins and some really big motivators. And this guy has kind of seen it all in that world. And he spoke for about 2 hours and just gave lots of great nuggets content with that. So it was really
speaker, the favorite.
Jay Abraham was pretty powerful, to be honest. I mean, this is a guy that apparently charges $250,000 a day to coach somebody. So, the fact that we got access to him to hear him talk for a couple hours was kind of amazing. Exactly. We're both in the wrong industry. But, and I don't have my notes with me, but, there were a lot of good things. My takeaway from it, and you know what, you had a question?
No, I remember last year, the one speech that just wow, I think a lot of people, I think it was Summit, is where the woman got up there and talked about how her husband had cancer or something. And do you remember that vaguely? And
of course, I remember that. And so that was on Tom X Day, and Tom X again was
first day, right? Or something.
TEDx, the first day. And you basically have 8 back-to-back speakers who are real estate agents. And they're sort of telling their story and their journey and all of that. And there were a few of those stories again this year.
Being powerful, yeah.
This crusty New Yorker almost cried a couple of times at a couple of those stories. But,
this year or last year?
This year. There was
the same thing again. Same kind of.
Same thing. Same. Different people telling different stories.
Just amazing stories you hear about.
Yeah. People overcoming obstacles in life and making the best of it. I think the overall theme, one of the overall themes was, and again, this is a representation of, pretty much every market around the country. If your market's not already feeling a slowdown, it will soon. That was certainly a theme. And, it's, this is a time where you really need to stay focused on your business, growing your business, taking care of your customers. The business is changing, the industry is changing, the market is changing rapidly. And, we've had 9 months of a market change under our belt. There are people in some markets where they're just starting to feel, they're literally just saying like, wow, I haven't had that many people at open houses lately. I don't know what's going on. Like they're just on the very front end of it.
I've had 6 people probably in the past 2 months literally tell me they hear the market is shit and that, it's due for a correction. These are people telling me that with me not saying anything. They're telling me that, and that's what they hear. So they see. I even had someone tell me that he thinks that Brooklyn was hot for a while and that it's almost hit its peak.
Right. So I have lots of thoughts there. Well, here's my soapbox on that.
Tell
It
me.
is a great time to be a buyer. It is a great time to be a buyer. Smart money buys when other people aren't buying, and it is a little quiet on the buy side, and you can go in and you can negotiate hard and get a deal. And all those people that are saying, oh, I'm going to wait until prices go down more. I'm going to wait. Those people are not going to buy for the next 10 years because that's the way that always rolls out. You cannot, you can't time a real estate market, you can't time a financial market. And the bottom line is mortgage rates are going up. So if you're in that under $1.5 million bucket, which that's where a lot of buyers are in New York City, you're affected by every quarter of a point on interest rates going up, and they are going up and they are continuing to go up, and you're going to get less money for apartment and the reality is everyone's going to jump back into the market at the same time, and then you're going to have missed your opportunity.
Let me pose a question to you. Because it's happened to me a few times now. I'm curious how you would handle it. So you just demonstrated, you just basically said it is a buyer's market. If you're doing an open house and you're representing the unit seller, and a buyer comes in without an agent, and they say, hey, what's the market like right now? We've been told that we have a lot of power. What do you tell them?
I would tell them that, yes, it is. You're right. It is a buyer's market. Different publications have declared it even recently a buyer's market across all categories. That is a great opportunity for you, buyer. Do you like this apartment? Should we go find something else? Because you should be buying right now. And I truly believe that. That's just not me trying to get a deal. That's not me.
But when they come to you and they say, oh, so we can put in a good price. And you're representing the seller.
So that's when you have to look at data with them, right? So generally people don't make prices up. You generally can find some comparables of things that are in contract. So when we do a comparable analysis, we look at what's on the market. That's the competition. They may or may not be priced appropriately. You can interpret that based on how long they've been on the market, et cetera, right? But you also need to look at what's actually in contract, and if you can actually find those contract prices out, those are your best comps because those are going into contract and prices are being agreed upon in the same market that you're trying to compete in as a seller. You also look at what has sold. Those are less relevant right now because the market is a moving target. Generally, the market's moving down, but it really is apartment by apartment, and there's little ups and downs, and it's just sort of swiveling up and down a little bit right now. So sold comps aren't as relevant. So you go to the numbers with them, and if I've priced my 1-bedroom apartment at $550, and my downstairs neighbor that has the exact same apartment as me for the most part just sold 6 months ago for $600, and I priced it for $550. I priced it for the new market. That doesn't mean that you can come in and offer. Actually, you can offer me $450, but that's most likely not going to be the current market price because you have to go back to the data. You have to go back to the numbers. And if you're in a co-op, which we talk a lot about on this show, co-ops will reject the sale of a unit if they think the price is too low and it's going to affect their shareholder value. So that's something we really have to keep in mind in New York City. It actually protects us from taking really, really low offers in this, as a listing agent. That's something that we can use a lot as an argument for not accepting a really low, having the seller accept.
Do you personally do more condo or co-op? I know I've asked it before, but I believe co-op, correct?
Many, many more co-ops, yeah, because there's many, many more of them on the market at any given time.
Well, and that's also, that's the Upper West Side is a lot.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
West Side, you do all over, obviously. You do everywhere, but I feel like that's like.
Yeah, about half my business is the Upper West Side. That it's actually a neighborhood that's selling quicker than some other neighborhoods right now. Just for a
I feel
moment.
like it always is like when the market's like this a little, it's always like at least 5 years. It's always been.
Well, yeah, but think about it. It's also a smaller chunk of land than the East Side, for example. So
Of course.
And it's a different vibe than downtown or midtown. And we have 2 parks and 2 subway lines, and it's a lot of people see it as a best case scenario especially if you're I don't know, I'm going to leave all that alone about where you are in your life, but the demographics are different I know I can't talk about it. The demographics are a little bit different on the Upper West Side.
What about the rental market? What's your thoughts on that right now?
It's a good question. Honestly, not as active in the rental market. The headlines that I'm seeing and what I'm sort of feeling from seeing what's out there a little bit is concessions are still up. Owners are still paying concessions. A brand new building opened up right across from my building at 80th and Broadway, and they are cutting serious deals. They're giving 2 and 3 months free to get people in the building.
Wow.
And but then what they're doing, so your net effective rent, let's say if they're asking $10,000 for its bedroom, your net effective rent may be $100, giving you all the door. But just remember, your lease is going to start renewing in 10 months, and they're going to take you back up to that $2,000. So you have to keep that in mind. But lots of concessions on the rental side. I have a question for you, Sam, though, just thinking about something, because you're so into social media, so much more than I am, actually. One of the recommendations that they made is to go much deeper on Instagram. You use Instagram a lot, right? So because you use Instagram a lot, yes. You're on Instagram a lot. So my understanding is that the user pool of Facebook is contracting. The user pool and the growth of Twitter is contracting. Of the big ones, the one that's still growing is Instagram. So the recommendation was made to start doing some polls on Instagram. I don't know if you've done any polling, and the idea, the concept that was laid out was, you get a really pretty picture of a beautiful home, maybe like one that we sold on 411 West End, Sam, and then the headline is, are you living in your dream home right now? And then, if it's a yes or no, and if it's a yes, it's like, congratulations, you're the minority. If it's a no, then have you had any thoughts of buying in 2018 or 20? Have you had any thoughts of so? So sort of using some tools like that, because Instagram, for whatever reason, people are resonating with it. He actually made a funny joke about the people that are so upset about what Facebook's done and the data breach and whatever, and they've canceled, they've jumped off of Facebook and they're only on Instagram. And meanwhile, Facebook owns it.
So it's funny, you can really look at the millennials and the even, I don't know if they're millennials, what they're called at this point, when they're like, because we have some people that work in our office that are
I think Gen Z follows millennials.
Okay, so then Gen Z. So like I'm talking like the 25, 24, 26, 27-year-old that works in our office. But you really look at that and it's like these people have like 1,000 followers and that's the average. That's like normal. Instagram, is the biggest method now. I feel like Facebook, I'll put something up on Facebook or I'll do a video. So I do those Chef Agent Hoffman and On Location ones that I've done. Yeah. I haven't done one in the past couple months. But you could slowly see a decline on there. But then if I were to put when I did a live video on Instagram, for instance, through the roof. So it is interesting to see we've been doing this for a couple of years now. You see shifts. So Facebook goes on a wave. Now it's Instagram. I feel like, Twitter sometimes is hot or cold. YouTube is always big. But in terms of the polls, the best thing I've seen is like when people do like a story they like write like you can click yes or no, or you can do like a meter. But I haven't seen anyone post like, I mean, don't get me wrong, like Ryan Serhant, I've seen him post like a question. It's like, do you live your best life or something? And I've seen stuff like that. So he's doing it, but
Speaking of Ryan Serhant, I was at a closing yesterday. I actually had the opportunity to have two closings yesterday, which is kind of fun to have them back to back. And then I was
what are you
sitting at one
eating?
there and I was looking at the Real Deal, which is our little industry trade magazine here in New York City. And Ryan Serhant has his own like video game with him in it. Have you seen that? You should Google that. You need to get your own video
No.
game, Sam.
What?
You need to get your own. It was
What?
either a video
What does he
game
do?
or
Is he
like
like
an
a paperboy?
if you Google like Ryan Serhant video game. So anyway, and it's there's all these point like you get deductions and you try to negotiate with him and so you start out with a certain number of points. I don't know. It sounds really silly to me, but I was sitting next to the agent on the other side of the deal, and we were chatting a little bit. And dude's like a smart businessman. I have a lot of respect for him as a businessman.
He was a
He's
hit model.
well, I mean, just so you know, like everybody, if it's not news to you, he's an actor. I mean, yes he does have his real estate license, but he's really like an actor and the CEO of his little company there, which is building video games and whatever else. And so I give him full on respect. I mean, this guy's not messing around, man. He got his, yeah. See, so Sam, why don't you have your own video game? Come on.
I don't know, I need one. But so he was an actor before, and Frederick did, well, acting too.
Frederick did a different type of acting. Come on, everyone knows that. All you have
I'm
to do
sorry, it's shocking to me.
is, no, I know
This
it is
guy,
shocking, and
he's
maybe
gonna go
everyone
and
doesn't
sell
know that.
$50 million
Those of us that
home.
have, yeah, those of us
When
that
you
have been
Google the
around
real
long
estate
enough.
agent, he comes up. I'm just
Well, you
saying.
know what? He sells a lot of real estate, doesn't he? He sells a lot of real estate. So,
So is that a correlation? I mean, should we get into a different?
I don't think so.
Anywho, so would you say overall last year's summit was more informative or better than this year, or what?
I feel like this year had some pretty good content. Having gone to it 3 years in a row, I think, like the first year I
This,
was blown away, right? Because you've never been in the room. Yes?
well, this is the first year that it wasn't in Vegas for you.
Right. But it could be anywhere. Like it was
No, I feel like you don't like Vegas. Maybe that got in your head a little.
I don't really love Vegas. This is the truth. I don't know if I like Anaheim much better, to be honest. Everyone in the hotel was either a real estate agent or had Mickey Mouse in their on. Like they
I
were
was about to say, you're going to Disney World.
it
How
was
is like,
literally it was literally across the street from Disneyland. So tons of
you know, if I went, we would have been on Space Mountain like five
I
times,
know.
right? Just
I
letting
know,
you
I
know.
know. You would have figured it
I would
out.
have let you escape.
I'm sure you would have.
I get to that
Um,
stuff early, and I'm closing the park.
oh God. Yeah. So, but I think that there was a lot of content. I think that I don't want to say the mood was more somber this year because that's not true. It's very motivational. A lot of good
Well,
things going on. But I think that there was more fear in the room. I think that there's real estate agents having fear. Certainly real estate clients having fear. So, which kind of sums up the country and the world these days too. So, and of course, a whole part of this story and focusing on your business is you really shouldn't be focusing on the news because you really will just press not ever want to leave your house. So there you go.
but the West Coast, I mean, in the Midwesters and the middle of America, they have fear too. Because I mean, I, I don't know. I want to say I don't know. I think New York, obviously, in the Silicon Valley,
I,
sense.
when I say fear in that room, it's more about the real estate market, what's
Yeah.
coming. You have broker owners in that room that are functioning in a model and a real estate model that has been the same for 50 plus years, and technology is changing things rapidly. Sam was in the office earlier and he came over and he said, "Have you ever heard of Purple Bricks?" And he showed me the Purple Bricks ad, which I've heard of them a lot, but I haven't seen their ad. Their ad reminded me a lot of a Dollar Shave Club ad, which I am a Dollar Shave Club customer. Dollar Shave Club completely disrupted the high margin razor business, and Gillette is like scrambling now to sort of, not stay in business, but their revenues and their profits have fallen a lot. What's that? Well, so I like that word disrupt, and one of the themes was make your business undisruptible, because disruption is trying very hard to get into the real estate space, whether it's Redfin, whether it is Urban Bricks, whether it is some sort of compression of commissions, whether it is firms saying that they have the best technology, so therefore you shouldn't work with one of the older firms because they can't keep up with technology. There's so much potential disruption.
William Bowles is disrupting the real estate game.
I'm not disrupting the real estate game. I am not. You know what? I am the guy who likes to keep his head down and take care of his customers and enjoy life. To be honest, so I am not the disruptor, but I am always working and thinking and trying to make sure that my business is undisruptible.
That is true. I feel like you always have your hand everywhere. Very smart businessman.
Well, it's very nice of you to say. I thank you. I do like to pay attention to what's going on. Before I got into real estate over 15 years ago, I was in an industry that was completely disrupted. I was fortunate enough to have seen it, felt it a little bit early, and jumped ship over to the company that did the disruption. So I was on the other side of it. But wow, did it change that business tremendously. And I just never want to get caught not paying attention to my business.
Well, no, I was going to finish the statement by saying you have your hand everywhere, but yet at the same time, you're always so hands-on. And you're not one of those people that can pawn something off to somebody else and then are never seen. You're always on top of it, emails, showings, all that stuff.
Well, thank you. That is very
nice
of you to say.
You don't see it very often when someone's got more than 15 listings.
And I'm also going to give you a shout out, Sam. Thank you for jumping in and doing some coverage this past weekend for a fellow agent and friend who needed to be with his family. So that was very nice.
No worries. That's what we're here for.
It was very nice for you to jump in at the last minute. I think that was a Friday or Saturday evening text? I can't remember.
Friday night around 7:15. I went by with my
You were on date. You were on date night.
We were on date night.
Where were you having dinner?
We went to Queens.
Oh,
we went to Queens to go get one of our favorite cocktails, and then finally try the Greek restaurant, which we never go because we never want to wait at Taverna Kyriakidis. It's ranked the top Greek in all of Queens, and as you know, Astoria is known for Greek food.
Yeah.
So it was pretty good. It was okay, but it was fun. Fun date night.
I'm trying to think. I didn't have very good food when I was in Anaheim. One night we went out to. Do you know what Disney Town is? Disney Town?
No.
I don't know. They have a million different theme parks right around there, but it was something Disney Boulevard, downtown Disney. Anyway, downtown Disney is like you walk, it's next to the park, but you're not really in the park. But they have all these theme restaurants. The one night we went to one that was sort of like it was supposed to be in New Orleans. So everything was fried. The next night we went to one that was up on the hill in Fullerton. Anyway, that one had great views and not such good food. But Sam just showed, yes, on the way out of town, I had an In-N-Out burger, and
is it the best?
It was really good, man. It was really good. I always forget that I'm a little disappointed in their fries. What do you think about their fries? I'm a little disappointed.
I mean, they're good because I feel like they're somewhat healthier than let's get something straight here. You go to McDonald's and get fries. They're marinated.
The McDonald's fries are the best fries in the world, right? But they're so horrible.
Fat.
They're so horrible for you. And are they really potatoes even? Right.
Oh, and so you can taste the healthier. No, my favorite fry, honestly, from fast food is Chick-fil-A. I love those waffle fries.
Oh, I like me a good waffle fry too.
So good. Sweet potato waffle fries, just put a knife in there.
Any waffle fries are good. Oh, by the way, I have a little tidbit for you. I know we're running out of time. I thought of you because there's a guy running for senator in Texas. His name is Beto something. He's running against Ted Cruz. So this is the Democrat running against Ted Cruz in Texas. and there's some sort of like controversy, something. Apparently, the marketing and the logo that he's using is very similar to the Whataburger spicy ketchup logo, and there's like, and and it apparently it looks so much like it that Ted Cruz commented something about how tasting a Whataburger and the ketchup is so much better than it would be if he was senator. I don't know. It's like
I
crazy.
have to look that up. I
I
don't even
thought
know
you
about
would
it.
appreciate the tie-in with because you like your
Oh,
Whataburger
yeah.
ketchup. You definitely like your Whataburger
I
ketchup.
already got it, but
Um, there we go. So, I mean, do you really see the difference? I don't
I
understand.
don't. It doesn't look the same. Maybe the font's a little.
I don't know if I really get it.
I do
I
like
think,
Whataburger.
well, you love Whataburger, right?
I
Yeah.
grew up on it. That
Those
chicken.
fries are pretty good. Those fries are pretty good. Those are sort of similar to McDonald's fries.
But they're
Although, yeah.
actually they're a little bit healthier.
Well, are they a little bit healthier? And I feel like you can definitely get a soggy Whataburger fry where you might not get
I
a
don't
soggy.
know. 8 years ago, I was never a McDonald's kid. Like I went to all the other fast food restaurants, but not McDonald's. But 8 years ago, when McDonald's came out with their news saying we now use real chicken in our nuggets, what the hell were they using
What
before?
were they using before? I don't know. I always thought it was like chicken lips and chicken butts and whatever else.
Well, someone did at McDonald's when someone's got a chicken head
Oh,
in their nuggets.
that's really gross. I haven't been to McDonald's in many, many years, I'm happy to say. For my own, yeah. But anyway, so I don't know. That's all I got. It's like 2:32. I feel like we covered some sort of
Everything's good. The weather here has been, we've had a lot of rain. Um,
Can we talk about the amount of rain that we've had
we've
on
had
the
a
East
ton.
Coast?
We've
Yeah,
had a ton. And you missed a lot of it last week.
I know, but I got up to Connecticut last weekend. So we have this pond in front of our house, and it was laughable for the first 2 years that we owned the house. We've owned the house 2 years, so this is our third summer there. It was because it was like a puddle. Anyway, this pond is completely overflowing and slowly inching its way up towards the front of the house because it's just not supposed to rain this much in August. So yeah, we've had a lot of rain, and of
So
course
now the bear will swim up to your front door.
no, they're right. So no bear sightings. The big wildlife sighting for the weekend was we have at the end of the weekend we put our trash in this big trash can. You have to bungee cord it because the wildlife will get into it. So then the guys come and they didn't close the top. So I went to empty the rainwater out of the big outdoor trash can, and there's a chipmunk stranded in the bottom, like terrified, wet, really. So anyway, I freed the chipmunk. That was my wildlife spotting for the week.
And other than that, so yeah, we're expected to have a little sun come up here and there. I think there might be some more storms coming, not quite sure. And in sports news, don't really have much for you. Baseball
How
season.
about how about 2.5 weeks to college football? That's kind of
Yeehaw.
amazing sports
As my
news.
wife said earlier,
And Baker Mayfield had a great first game, I guess, right, with Cleveland Browns, right? Yeah. So that's
I mean,
exciting.
they're never going anywhere, but sure.
What's that?
I said that's not a team that's going to go anywhere, but sure, I do like Baker.
Well, who knows, man? Who knows? I mean, it only takes, who knows?
One.
And I think the last thing, Sam, there's a very important interview happening this evening at 7:30. So we're sending positive thoughts and vibes out to a co-op interview this evening at 7:30. Right.
I don't have to give positive vibes. It's a done
It's
deal.
always good to put positive vibes into the universe, my friend.
I hope JT is watching, so.
Well, he popped in earlier.
Oh, I didn't see him. I invited him. I always
All right,
invite him.
everybody. I think we had fun today. Hopefully you did as well. If you have any comments on anything that we discussed, any questions for us, any one that you would like to see? Oh, I'm going to give you one more thing before we go. I am now, Sam, I am now meditating with Nandar every Friday afternoon. That's right.
You what?
I am meditating with Nandar every Friday afternoon. I have a standing appointment to meditate with her on Friday afternoon.
How are you already in Connecticut by then, or?
Yeah, no, we do it online. We do it via Skype. For
And?
those of you, It's fantastic. It's amazing. It's fantastic. And then I meditate every morning. I've now
You fall
finally.
asleep?
No, I don't fall asleep. You didn't. For those of you that watched a few weeks ago, Nandar Matari is a meditation coach, and she's awesome. And she meditated with me and Sam online, live on our show. And if you didn't catch it, it's worth scrolling down on the timeline, either one of our timelines, and catching it. Sam instantly fell asleep. I went to another level of consciousness and cleared my mind and felt so much better, and Sam fell asleep. So,
Anyways, make sure to keep following, liking, loving us, sharing these videos. Keep following along. We're live every Tuesdays at 2 p.m. Eastern. As we said, we're going to be disrupting with new methods, new ways to reach y'all out there.
Speaking of disruption, do you remember I'm traveling next week? I think you're solo again next week, unless you get a guest.
Okay, I'll work really hard this time. Maybe I'll beg my wife. I got it.
Who wants to be a guest with Sam next week while William's in Napa?
I bet I can find some people.
Anybody?
I bet I can find some people.
If I can go live from my phone, I will, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to. Anyway.
You don't get great service out there. I was just there, and the service is absolutely terrible. But remember, you must go to Mustard's, get the pork chop.
I am going to Mustard's.
Get the
Do I need to make a reservation? Do I need to make a reservation for
Mustard's?
Mustard's?
For lunch, have we made one? But you must get the English muffin.
At the place you sent me.
At the place I sent you, it is you'll fall over. English
and that's in Napa.
Yeah, there was like 3 locations. Yeah.
Okay. All right, so I will do that for breakfast one morning, and we have our parking reservations for Muirwood at your recommendation. Yes. The Bowles brothers are hitting Northern California, so watch out.
Bowles brothers. Good word. The Bowles brothers. The brothers Bowles.
Brothers Bowles will be in Napa, yes.
I like it.
All right.
All right, everyone.
Have a great week, everybody. Thanks for your likes and your shares, and we'll see you later.